Not Worth the Time with Wade Taylor. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Not Worth the Time. We're here. We're doing it. We're having a good weekend. God damn, has it been a fun one, you guys. Did the show in Council Bluffs at the Third Base Bar and Grill this past weekend. Thank you a lot to everybody who came out to that. That was a fun time. Always interesting doing bar shows because sometimes they just make you work for it. You really gotta get in there with the laughs. You really gotta make sure your shit's tight. And a lot of my act is very loose butthole. I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's not. Oh boy, but fun time nonetheless. People had a good time. A lot of people came up and said thank you, and they were very happy for the show. So thanks for that. If you want to come out and see me do stand-up, I got some dates still coming up. April 5th at the Peachtree Brewing Company in Des Moines, Iowa. That's downtown Des Moines, the Peachtree down there. April 8th, I'll be in Lincoln, Nebraska at the Storm Cellar. Come out to that. That's going to be a super fun one. And then in Knoxville, Iowa, down at the Peachtree Brewing Company on April 14th. So lots of fun dates coming up, you guys. Come on out. Have a good time. If you come up and tell me you listen to either of the podcasts, I'll buy you a beer. That's a guarantee. So, hell yeah. Let me buy you a beer, and we'll chat up about how stupid I am to talk into a microphone by myself and to my old brother on a weekly basis. You probably remember more shit that I've said than I do. So, but I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys listening. Yeah, it's been a good couple weeks, man. It has been. I've learned a lot. I keep getting these videos that popping up on my phone that show you secret hidden things you didn't know this device did. You know, it's always some kind of extra little tool that's built in that you had no idea that this thing did. I found this video that broke down 5 unknown tools, or uses, I should say, of the side mirrors on a car. It was honestly pretty incredible. It showed you exactly how you're supposed to line it up in order to get the farthest vantage point on it. It also, the one that I thought was really crazy, was if you're paying attention when you're pulling into a parking spot, if there's a curb there that you're trying to line up, you just have to line up the bottom of your side mirror to the curb as you're pulling up, and once you do that, it's exactly 10 centimeters away from the curb. So it's literally built so you can better park and not waste space. Wouldn't that be nice to know? I just want to spread that information and let everybody know so we can stop having shitty parking in this world. If you've listened to this podcast for the 130 episodes I've been doing it, there's one of the biggest pet peeves of mine is people who can't park right. And I'll tell you what, the city of Des Moines is riddled with them. There's so many people who can't fucking park, just getting on top of lines, and fucking leaving their asses out on the end too far. That's the one I'll never understand. I can get going over a line, parking in 2 spots by accident, especially if you're in a hurry, you're just trying to get in and get out and stuff. But to just not pull in far enough is absurd. It's the worst act ever. And now I'm just trying to spread that information so you won't leave your ass end out. You know, if you get your car hit because you didn't pull it all the way past the lines, that's on you. I don't care. Should you be paying attention and not hit the car with its ass end out? Sure. But I blame you more. I blame you for parking your car and just going, that's fine. Yeah, there's 4 feet of space in front of the yellow line in front. I can still see the yellow line sitting in my driver's seat. I can see that yellow front line that's dividing me from the other car. Sure, I can still see the license plate of the car that's parked in front of me, but this is close enough. That's on you. Start using, if there's a bumper there, dude, or if there's a curb, just use that thing and pull that fucking thing in all the way in. Just got to make sure it levels up. Just make sure it lines up and you're fine. You know, I will say, though, those useful tip videos, right? These videos I've been seeing that are like, you look at these cool and different ways. Look at these tools you probably didn't know about, or these functions of this product you didn't know about, are a little cunty. They're kind of passive-aggressive, like, oh, things you might not have known about. Oh, here's a thing that you probably didn't think that this device could do. They all like to throw it in your face like they are just so on top of it. Like, I knew this. How did you not know this? First of all, quit acting like you knew that right off the bat, okay? You saw another TikTok or Reel video explaining this, and now you're going to claim, like, I've known this the whole time. That's what I do with history facts, okay? I state history facts like I discovered the bones of an Egyptian pharaoh and know what his life story was, okay? I report that. That's how I talk about history. You can't, neither of us should do that, okay? I shouldn't be claiming, architectural, archaeologist valor, okay? I shouldn't be doing that with history. You can't claim archaeological valor if you didn't actually discover it, right? But I sit there and do that. I do that with facts and stuff like that. You shouldn't do it with knowing like a function of it unless you actually fully read the entire manual of something, which nerd. Who reads the manuals of whatever products they buy? Nobody. Okay? You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be doing it. Shouldn't be doing it. That's all I'm saying, you guys. I don't know. I was freaking myself out there, sorry. I was panicking because it looked like I kept recycling between minute 2 and 4 of the podcast. And I was like, I feel like I've been talking for way longer than 1 minute. I was panicking like, fuck me, I have not been recording this podcast very long. But they're just they're very twatty about it. They just really want to talk about how, oh, I figured it out. I'm the one who figured this out. You didn't figure it out, okay? You didn't even read the manual. Somebody else told you about it. Which, God bless the people that read the manuals, man. I don't know how you have the time to do that. They're so long. There's probably so many things in your cars nowadays. I don't have a modern car. I still have, roll down windows. I still got the wheelies, I'm still cranking them, hand cranking my windows down. But I can imagine that the modern car, there's so many bells and whistles to it that there's functions and features that people don't even fucking know about in their cars. There's probably so many things that make it so much easier and so much more enjoyable to drive, and I have no idea what that is. Okay? You're not supposed to go on the internet and search out people explaining videos to you on that, all right? If you want to find out secrets and little things like that, you need to go to a bar, okay? You should have to go to a bar, and you sit on a stool, and you sit there and drink beer, and then a couple old boys surround you. And after you get there, and you're about 20, 30 minutes, nobody says anything. You're just watching the game. And somebody breaks the silence, finally goes, man, Xavier, they're just not going to pull this one off, are they? Yeah, it's going to be an upset. Xavier's going to fall. And then you're like, man, yeah, there's not a good, solid first seed team this year in the NCAA tournament, is there? No, there really isn't. It just seems like it was kind of like one of those years. It was definitely anybody's game. And that's how the conversation starts. And then eventually you start spilling secrets and tips and trades. And that's how business gets done. Underrated. Going to bars to get Reddit secrets. That's what it was before, man. There's a Reddit page for everything now that teaches you the little secret tips and tricks of everything. That's not what it used to be. It used to be the bar. Okay, you go to the bar, and you'd have to just randomly stumble into somebody who could explain that kind of stuff to you. He's a carpenter, and he would teach you about how to use a level with all the fun, secret, hidden tricks that he's learned over the years from somebody and pass that down. That's why the local bars are dying, dude. It's because the young people aren't going in there and getting the knowledge, There's knowledge to be had out there, okay? There's knowledge to be had on the internet. Sure, you can get it all, but you don't absorb that. But you'll remember a drunken old man telling you how to cut a 45-degree angle on a 2x4, okay? You'll remember that in a bar. You won't remember watching a video of it online. I'm telling you. You just go to a bar sometime. You go learn something. You'll also hear some crazy shit probably, too. Underrated, dude. Going to a bar on a Sunday afternoon and just talking to one of the old boys at the bar. It is fun. That's what I did today. I went and checked out. I've been scouting locations for a comedy show. Shh. Been scouting a location. Went and checked out this bar. And I just went there to kind of see what it was like and get all the feel for it, and I sat there and had a couple beers, My favorite thing about that, this is a Sunday afternoon. Granted, March Madness is going on. So of course the guys are there. I'm here to watch basketball. Dude, you're here even if it was just a Sunday golf tournament, you'd be there, dude. It's just the excuse you need, and that's fine. You should have that excuse. You should be able to go watch sports with your buddies and shoot some pool all day while it's free pool and just have a good time and enjoy that Sunday afternoon. You know, it's kind of snowing, sleeting. You got nothing else to do. But my favorite is a couple guys I saw in there. This one guy right away. He's like, hey, Tim, how you doing? How's that things going? He's like, oh, things are pretty good. You know, just came here to have a couple. Still got to go to the grocery store after this. Go to the grocery store, pick up some stuff from Aldi, you know, and then go home and cook something for the wife. I was like, damn, this guy's done this before. He knows. He's like, if I just come home, you know, I can go get a couple pops in. No problem. He's doing the beer math and time math. He's like, okay, I have the list. I have Aldi down to a science now. He's like, I know where everything is. I can get in and out of Aldi in 20 minutes. My wife expects me, though, to be gone for an hour and a half. So I can get at least 4 Budweisers in an hour 15. Pop over to Aldi for in 5 minutes. Get the shopping done, and then be back in that hour and a half time span. That is married beer math. And he knows if he goes home and just starts cooking right away, and you just, you know, you bring home a couple beers with you. You know, you're going to cook for the family. You're going to have a couple pops. You bring a bottle of wine home for the missus so she can, you know, hey, babe, brought you a bottle of wine. Why don't you crack that open? She cracks it open. You know, she's hanging out with the kids. You're like, let me cook us something up. I'll cook us I'm going to cut up a few potatoes, throw some chicken breasts in the oven, you know, and I'm going to have a beer right now, okay? I'm just going to crack the beer. I'm going to have a beer. And now she's none the wiser, dude. You've completely hidden the fact that you've had 6 beers. Oh, that beer smell on your breath? Oh, that's the beer I had. It's the one I had in the kitchen. It's just the one I had in the kitchen. It's not a big deal. You see that happen, though. I was doing that. I don't have anybody to come home to, but I was like, I'm going to go scout this bar. And I was like, I might as well have a few pops while I'm here. And I was like, oh, man, I got to get out of here. I got to go get groceries. And that's how that happens. That's how the modern suburban relationship and coexistence and cohabitation happens, guys. Eventually, you just get into that routine, and you just pop on over. I mean, Sunday football's gone, you know? You used to be able to, like, during the fall, Saturday and Sunday, you're at that bar all the time if that's your local bar. And that's what's important. Underrated, I'm telling you. Underrated. Sneaking off to get a few pops. Oh, yeah, what a day. What a day. I enjoyed it. That's also where you can find a good job, by the way. If you don't like actually being interviewed for jobs and you just want to fly by the seat of your pants and get employment, pop it in on a weekend. Because a lot of those guys, if you're getting drunk on a Sunday, you're either working construction or you're a business owner, right? I mean, getting drunk, if it's 11 a.m. and you're already at the bar on a Sunday, chances are you either work construction or some kind of manual labor job, or you own a business, so it doesn't matter as much. You can stroll in late, dude. Who gives a shit? And the reason you're manual labor, you're going to take a nap. You're going to go pick up the truck, go to the job site, but you're going to stop off, take a fucking 45-minute or, you know, just knockout. Just a quick knockout. Who gives a shit? Let it happen. But that's where you can get a good job, dude. Meet somebody who needs a new crew member, right? You know, you're good shit. You're throwing them back a little bit, having a good time, talking. You're a good dude to talk to, right? Yeah, you're a good hang, bud. I bet you're all right. Like, what's your work history like? What you ever held a shovel? You ever carry shingles up a ladder? You know, they're gonna hit you up with that. Or if you're good shit, start talking about golf. Those business owners are here for, oh, you play golf, huh? Yeah, what do you play most of the time? Start getting in that conversation. You talk a little shop that way, and next thing you know, it's like, I run a little business out here, and you need some salesmen. We pay pretty good commission. What do you think about that? You can come out and do that and stuff. That's what ends up happening, dude. It's how you get jobs, is being like that. Now, you still got to go through the job process, applications and whatnot. But if it's the business owner or a manager vouching for it, dude, it's the perfect in. It's perfect in. Underrated, dude. Going to a bar and talking to the people there. You're just going to learn a few things, get some tips and tricks here and there. It's a good time, okay? If you're looking for a job, I keep finding these ones, and I find them interesting because they're things we all think about and go through. And so I found another article about jobs this week, and that's the one we're going to jump into right now, you guys. And that is from Inc.com. It's 3 interview questions candidates dread most and what they reveal. You probably encountered these many times. So we're going to get into this and figure out the 3 questions that we always get asked. Dude, job interview questions suck so hard because they encourage lying. They really do. The amount of bullshit spinning that you have to do to sell yourself, which sucks. Nobody likes talking about themselves unless you're a complete narcissist. I know I'm technically about myself or things going on in my life for a half hour every 2 weeks, but this is insane. And I still put myself down and hate it. I don't like myself. I'm self-aware enough, okay? I'm just trying to be funny and entertain you. Dude, you get me in a job interview and you're like, hey, what are your accomplishments? I never want to talk about them. Not in the slightest. It's so weird and so I just come from that background in a family dynamic where it was like, you don't brag about it, you show them. You don't talk about it, you be about it. And so you can't show them in a job interview how good you are as an employee. You have to talk about it, and it sucks. So let's see what these. What is it? Nobody enjoys job interviews. For candidates, there are times of high tension that can affect the rest of their lives. For interviewers, the stakes are just as high. Make the wrong decision and miss an important piece of information, and the results could be disastrous. Yeah, you hire some narcissist who eats the company alive, This is why smart interviewers ask open-ended and potential revealing questions, and why smart job candidates often dread answering some of these questions, the same questions. It helps alleviate some of the anxiety. Christopher Dwyer, a PhD, a lecturer at Technological University of Shannon of Ireland, has assembled a list of the 5 highly annoying questions that are asked in most job interviews. What the questions can tell you about the candidate and the psychological underlying of them. Though the list written for the job candidates to use can just be useful if you're the one asking the questions. If you find all 5 in his post, Psychology Today, here are the 3 candidates are likely to hate the most. All right, let's go. Number 1, tell us a little about yourself. Dude, hate it. Hate it already. Dude, trying to talk about yourself in any capacity that's not just specifically answered questions sucks, because then you have to sit here and guess what they might find important about you or interesting about you. It sucks. It sucks so hard. I'll be the first to admit, I don't think I'm an interesting person, which is insane, the fact that I do what I do as far as doing stand-up and doing this. I just don't feel that way about myself. So then trying to pick out important information that someone could use in order to figure out if I'm a good fit for their company is insane to me. Of all the questions in an interview you must face, this may be one of the most perplexing because it is so open-ended. Someone could talk about their childhood or a movie they saw last week, or their favorite pet, and strictly speaking, they'd be answering the question. Most job candidates are smart enough not to do that, but some of them make the mistake of listing past jobs and experiences, essentially providing a verbal form of information that the interviewer already has because it's on the resume. Yeah, I could easily think about that a lot. I remember taking a course in college about interviews, and when you're coming to answer questions, if it's already answered on your resume, they say don't even bring it up. Um, Unless you're referring back to it in specific situations. You can reaffirm it and stuff. But that's also like this tricky part is because I've heard people also say they don't even look at the resume, right? They look at the like first three things and then they basically blow off the rest of it. Yet they want a 2-page fucking resume with your goddamn community service shit. Nobody gives a fuck about what community service you've done or what little league you help coach or if you've picked up trash on the side of the road. Nobody gives a shit. All right. So why would you ask for this? Why would you ask this? Because subtly allows the panel to see if you are clear in your thinking and answering, Dwyer says. The ideal candidate will talk about a few skills or experiences that relate to the job as well as some of the work that they enjoy that may line up with the job requirements. They may throw in a few personal experiences that illustrate the point they are making, and they will make a subtle instance of eating up half of the interview answering the open question. Oh, so it's just a time thing. The interviewer's just like, oh man, I have to talk to somebody for 20 minutes. Okay, what's something? They're just like stand-up comic doing crowd work. Hey, what do you do? Tell us about yourself. Hey, what do you do? What do you do for a living, sir? You guys married? That's the job interview equivalent of crowd work. Is asking that question. Oh, that's fucking great. Question number 2. Why do you want to work here? Everyone understands the odds of getting a truthful answer to this question are low. So why ask it? Mostly because it's a great way to find out how much they know about your company and how good they are doing their homework. It will also tell you if they're properly understand the job they are interviewing for. That makes all the sense in the world now that I read that. Because like it says, let's be honest. Most people are just getting a job because they need something. They need a paycheck. You need a paycheck. You got an apartment. You are underwater on a Dodge Charger. And you need that Hemi, okay? It might not seem like you need that much horsepower under the hood, but god damn it, you're willing to take a job you hate to make sure you can rev that engine in the morning. And that's why you have that job. It's not that you want to work for Iron Mountain Insurance, okay? You don't give a fuck about insurance. You don't give a fuck about their premiums. You just want to be able to pay off the Dodge Charger in your studio apartment and buy dog food. That's why. But this does definitely show that you've done a little research. Dude, it's amazing to me how many people don't even read the mission statement on a company's website. Just read that. Recite a few lines from it. Because you know what's great? Most people don't even know what their company's mission statement is. Just say it. Just go rattle off. Well, reading on your company's mission statement, you don't even actually need to rattle off a quote. Just pick out 2 or 3 of the main things that they bring in there. Like, well, based off of what I saw in your company's mission statement, you guys are really trying to value bringing an awesome experience to the customer, that you guys are loyal to your customer, and then whatever, just list off 3 things. Boom, boom. You look like a fucking saint, okay? Look for candidates who are prepared for this question, can talk about the work your company does and why it's important, or the exciting new technology they will be working with, or even the value of a work-life balance if that's known as a value in the company's culture. If your company is high paying and focused on money, then a candidate who acknowledges this and talks about a great compensation might be a great hire. Look for the answer that tells you that the person understands the company and the job and gets your values and would be a good fit in the culture. Yeah, that's a big one. Makes sense. Makes sense in all of the world to do it that way. It's weird how much I never thought about how these questions were. That's why I wanted to talk about this article. It's pretty interesting. Okay. What is one of your weaknesses? God damn it. This one sucks. Because they always told you in school when I took that class, like, oh, you just need to talk about a weakness. And, yeah, say a weakness, but then talk about how you try to counteract it. And it's like, that's not a weakness then if you know how to defeat it. Okay? A dragon's not a problem if you have the sword that kills it. All right. Most people would prefer to do almost anything rather than discuss their own weaknesses. So there may be the most dreadful question of all. Someone who asks, "I could never meet the deadline or get anywhere on time," is letting you know they have issues around what's appropriate to communicate with a poor understanding of the workplace requirements. Oh, dude, yeah, you appreciate the honesty, but good God. Like, read the room. You know what you're trying to do. Like, don't bring up that you can't meet deadlines. Ugh, the worst. Someone who says, "I'm too much of a perfectionist," answers her too often. May be a warning that they have an efficiency or a time management issue. And someone who tells you their weakness is that they get too devoted to their job and very possibly lying. After all, if we devoted to our current job, why would we be interviewing for yours? Yeah, no shit. The things that sound good so often in any conversation, sometimes it's we say what we think people want to hear. We really do. I know I'm guilty of it. I do it all the fucking time, and I try not to anymore, but you're still talking to somebody and you're trying to like get over that hurdle, and you'd wish you weren't doing it, but it happens. And what you don't realize is by saying what they want to hear, you may think you're confirming with them and meeting them in some kind of positive way, but in a lot of times they're doing the mental gymnastics in their head and knowing that you're lying to them, that you're omitting something. The right candidate will tell you about their actual weakness, one that isn't a deal breaker, and then importantly, they tell you how they are working to improve in that area and perhaps how they discovered that weakness. An answer like this tells you several good things about the candidates. First, they have self-awareness, which some believe is a single most important quality when it comes to hiring. And the second, they have a growth mindset. They believe in their own ability to learn and improve over time. Both qualities are important in a successful organization. Yeah. That self-awareness is definitely a very important quality that I think some people definitely overlook. If you're not questioning yourself, you're definitely going to get stuck. So that's interesting. There's a growing audience on Inc.com reading several daily. Oh, okay, this is another thing. Whatever. That's not that last thing has nothing to do with that. So that's good. But yeah, you definitely want to stay motivated when it comes to that and being self-aware. I think that's one reason why, like, if you get certain promotions and stuff, if you're questioning, like, I don't know if I should be able to do that, I don't know if I feel ready or whatnot, they like you even more. Because you're not just trying to take a position because of the pay increase or because you get the power. You're actually doing it because you think you would be good for it. So it's important. I don't know. It's something to think about. A lot of dumb shit. What a crazy episode this has been, right, guys? And if you like this, head over to puntinggame.com where you can find all sorts of cool shows there. Lots of great podcasts there at puntinggame.com. You got this show, Who Gives a F, The Empty Parlor, and all the back catalogs of all our favorite shows here that have been on Punting Game over the years. So go over there and check that out. And if you'd like to watch the video version of this, go to YouTube at Comic Wade Taylor. That's at Comic Wade Taylor on YouTube. And you can check out all the cool stuff we have there, all the video versions of the podcast, stand-up clips, shorts, all sorts of fun stuff. So check that out. And then don't forget to head over to the Punting Game shop and go and get yourself a T-shirt, hoodie, something to help rep your favorite podcasts here at puntinggame.com. And don't forget to use promo code NWTPOD. That's NWTPOD. And that gets you free shipping at checkout, guys. Isn't that awesome? Like I said earlier, got some stand-up dates going on. You can come see me April 5th. I'll be at the Peachtree Brewing Company. in Des Moines, Iowa. That's going to be a lot of fun. The Storm Cellar, April 8th in Lincoln, Nebraska. Come out to that one. April 14th, Knoxville, Iowa at the Peachtree Brewing Company. Come out to those shows. There's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of great comics on all of those shows, guys. This has been Not Worth the Time. I appreciate you guys listening. Hope we got something out of it. Hope we got entertainment. And I hope you learned something. And have a great rest of your week. And remember, don't do anything I wouldn't do.